Yeah, YouTube was hanging with shake it, and welcome back to the Royal Archives. Today's Royal Archive log is Warhammer Space Marine 2. This is the latest installment in the Warhammer series, which I've recently found out about, and apparently has a super deep lore to the game. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm too lazy to get too deep into it and find out exactly what it is. So hey, if you're a fan of it, want to maybe give me a little bit of like spark notes of what the fuck's going on, by all means, I will check it out. I did enjoy the game enough, just not enough to want to like, plenty of people out there do like lore videos, but those are like hours long, and I just don't care enough. I just don't care enough. The game has a ton of content, but mainly today we'll be talking about my campaign and PvE experiences with the game. Um, and of course, in true Royal Archive fashion, I'll be giving you pros and very little cons today. You're going to be really shocked about today's overall experience. Starting out with the campaign, it's a pretty decent story. It follows a character, a pretty famous character, I guess, in the series. His name is Titus, and he is forced out of like the Marine Corps' like Special Forces division, or like their Black Ops, I guess, division. And he's sent back out onto the front line to fight a returning enemy force and help clear out their conquest to take over the planet and multiple planets, I think, at that. I enjoyed the overall story. It was a really good balance of difficulty with a lot of variations of playstyles. I used so many different weapons when I was playing through this. And there was a lot of different melee options, sidearms, explosives. I like the fact that they didn't just lock you into the standard playstyle of, hey, here's your automatic weapon and your knife, basic grenade, and go save the universe. No, it was like, listen, I got laser cannons, sniper rifles, machine guns, semi-automatics, fully automatics, high caliber, low caliber, dual wielding, axes, swords, chainsaw swords. There were so many different variations. I was like, I could rock with this. And depending on the mission that you were doing, you probably were playing completely different that way too. I also like that you could play through this together with your friends. I'm a sucker for a good co-op. Me and my girlfriend are always constantly looking for things to play with, and of course, as a content creator, it's always nice to include other content creators as I'm trying to make more content. So I love the ability that it gave me to collab and work with other people to get that all going. You've seen already the one or two videos that we've done, just kind of doing some highlights from the PvE extra missions and the campaign, and even some other little things that the game has to offer. And the fact that they can do that turn me up every time. And then even in those moments when you weren't playing with your friends, the AI that they use for this, solid. Okay, those were some dependable dudes. Okay, laying down covering fire, using plenty of their abilities, reviving you when you fail. Hell, I didn't even have one or two instances where they didn't finish an objective for me, so it just cutscene right to the next little section. You know what? They're here to get things done, and I can rock with that because there are plenty of places or plenty of instances where that AI is absolutely shit, and they have been shooting at the same enemy or slicing up the same enemy for like 10 minutes. I remember in Ghost of Tsushima, there was like a side mission where somebody was helping you take down some enemies, but the problem was, bro, I couldn't find where the last enemy was, and it was just bro in the corner just doing the same attack, and bro just kept getting parried. It was so much. Make game AIs better, guys, please. Overall, the campaign alone was enough for me to grab this game. I didn't pay for it, obviously. It was another one of those, PlayStation Plus bangers. But if I would have gotten to see a campaign trailer for this, that alone would have had me grab the game and paid money for it. Maybe I would say like at a like $30 to $40 range. Yeah, you'd have had me. You'd have had me there, no problem. Hook, line, and sucker. And the fact that the game had even more content after the campaign was done, I'm locked in. This could be a $60 game, and I'm okay with it. Of course, like I said again, I don't know what the price of it was, but It was free 99 for me, and I'm damn sure not gonna complain so far for what my free 99 experience has been. I had just said something about the in-game content of the game, and I want to go over a little bit more of that in detail. The PvE experience, like the campaign, really didn't disappoint. They gave you 2 different game modes, and now you're no longer forced to play with the main character Titus. You actually get, like, I think it's 7 different classes to play with. So you get, again, a multitude of ways to play. Each class had different abilities and things like that would help you fight or move better revival, support, more damage. There was a ton of different options. It just kind of depended on what you played. I will say that out of all of them, my favorite was probably the Tech Marine, but that was also because with all this swarming that you deal with, to have a machine gun on your back that auto targets and auto fires for you, turn me up. Turn me up. Keep me safe, please. But the PvE modes include extra missions, which one of my favorite things about it was the fact that they gave you the other perspectives, because there were plenty of moments in the campaign where like you'd be talking to a second group and they would go off and do something. Now you get to see what that was like for that second group, and I like how they tied that in. I had never thought about something like that being a concept, but I thought that was pretty cool. And then of course, if after you get through that, because of course that eventually ends, you still have, if you like kind of want that Call of Duty Zombies wave style combat, they have a siege mode. You go through, like, I think it's 5 different waves, and then there's like ways for you to keep going, and in between rounds, of course, you'll like restock, restock on ammo, health, summon heavy artillery, defense positions, stuff like that. But it gives you just a lot of, it's another one of those things that just gives you a lot of variation in playstyle with. I bring up those playstyles and those variations because it was a really important thing about it. So many of these games, especially like shooters like this, just Gears of War gave you that goddamn chainsaw gun and some armor and told you go get after it. That was it. That was like the entire game. Of course, you did have some other weapon styles eventually, but like for the most part, it felt like you had that one main weapon. There was nothing else you could do, nothing else you could play with. Figure it the fuck out. Save the universe, please. Well, Space Marine sat there and was like, "Yo, listen, I got it all, bro. I got it all. You pick whatever it is you need to pick, but go out there and kill those dudes." And I rock with that because I'm stupid. So of course, if one thing ain't working, I need something else to try. I can't just keep going ahead and bashing my head up against the wall. The other really fun part about the PvE side of things was it also gave you armor customization. Now, while a lot of the different armor styles are locked behind paywalls, something that I can respect, you still had a lot of different color variations and I think like surface material styles that you could kind of change on your different parts. And it wasn't just like a one size fit all thing. You had ways to do just the shoulder pads and just the arms or just the legs or just the chest piece, and could play around with those different pieces a bunch. I really like that. I like the fact that I can sit there and stun on somebody while I'm serving the Omnisire, you feel me? But the fact that you didn't have to pay for more weapons or extra content or things like that, I really like that about this game. The fact that pretty much the only thing that's in that add-on menu in the PlayStation store is just cosmetics, colors, helmets, armors, weapon loadouts or weapon layers. I like that. I like the fact that there was nothing that changed the gameplay. It just gave you the ability to show up to the mission ready to stunt on not just your fellow corpsmen, but the enemies that stayed in front of you. You see this drip I got on, bro? I just spent money on this. You're going down. You will fall like your brothers. And I rock with that. Turn me up. I'm a sucker for it. Lord knows, with all the Monster Hunter that I play, if it's one thing that's going to turn me up every time, it's going to be a little drip hunting. as I've played through the rest of the game, I've always kind of wondered, like, okay, we've done the PvE content. What's next? What do I do after that? What can I do after that? And shockingly enough, there's still plenty to do. The siege mode, like I say, offers you kind of like a roguelike feel. You can kind of go through, play a couple waves, be done with it. But the extra missions and the siege styles, you can both. You can both increase the difficulty on, so that also adds another layer to it. Because now you got to make sure, you know, most people are completionists. Now you got to beat it on every level too. Now, I'm not one of those people. I do like stepping up in difficulty because it makes for good content every time. I know you remember that first video where I got my first little taste of it. Tried to run into a group of enemies and got punched out. My health bar depleted. It was hilarious. And that's just, you know, that was, I don't even think we were really into like the super hard stuff. I think we went from like medium to just regular hard. And yeah, that was crazy. But the fact that the game just gives you, I feel like the game gives you a good chunk of content and gives you difficulty along with that content that allows you to enjoy the full experience. And it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a waste of money. Like if this is no longer available through PlayStation Plus, but the game is like on sale or something like that, I absolutely say grab it. Go ahead and grab it, just because you gonna have something to do here. There is a PvP mode that I haven't gotten into heavily, but I might consider it. You know, I do have plans to still keep making content on the game, so who knows? Maybe the next video y'all get might be a PvP video. You never know. I gotta see what it's hitting for, though. You know, PvP forces you to actually, you know, have people playing, but the game seems like it has a pretty good player base still, even though the game came out in 2004. For the cons for the game, I don't have many. I think that's always been, lately, at least with a lot of the Royal Archives that I've been doing, I don't really have many cons for them. A lot of these games I've been enjoying. But there, you know, I still gotta find something. You know, no game is perfect. My big one, which is something of my own fault, is the fact that because this was my first game in the series, I still, like I say, I said it in the beginning, I don't really know much about the lore, which I think made me miss out on certain connections and things like that were happening in the game. And you know, it's whatever. Like I still enjoyed myself, and it didn't ruin my gaming experience on the game. But it was definitely just like it felt like being outside of an inside joke. You know, it was just, he just kind of was looking from the outside looking in, just kind of, I was just there to hit shit, while everybody else was like, oh snap, there goes this squadron and this you know, these people, and I was like, I don't know what none of that means. One time we were talking about the different classes and how, like, apparently they, you know, some of them serve different people, and I was like, man, listen, can we be in the 3-man squad and kill shit? I don't care about none of that shit we talking about. Where's the shit to kill, bro? Give me my chainsaw sword and let's get active. I also really want to stop the 3-man squadron trope. And of course, I know, like, you know, that requires a lot more work from the game design aspect of it. But Destiny, Warhammer, there's so many games out there that constantly force this squad of 3. And I got more than 3 friends, y'all. I want to play with like 4 of them, maybe 5 of them. Let's get like bigger raids and get like 6 of them. That's probably like the only thing that this game is missing. Like, there needs to be, like, you can do 6v6 for the PvP, but like they need like a 6-man squad for like raids or something like that. Like, I need to take on like a big old giant lizard or some big, you know, alien menace, and I need all my homies here, you know, with different roles, support, DPS, tank, all that. I think that's really the only thing that, like, I would want to add to the game. Is like, I would want somebody to sit there and be like, yeah, let me get that motherfucking let me get some more homies to play with. I'm not super big in PvP for a lot of the games that I play, and of course I know that allows for more players to play. But like, nah, man, I need large PvE content too, and that'll really put me right as rain. And then plus, we were in the middle of like galactic warfare. We in the middle of galactic warfare. You telling me I can only summon 3 of these all powerful space marines? No, dude. Give me more. Give me more. But then also, I guess, like, to that, also the counter to that is like, that's what the extra missions are. They're over there doing the extra missions. Who cares? They're still in 3-man squads. No, dude. No. Overall, even with the little cons the game has, it's definitely impressed me. And it's given me a 10 out of 10 experience, but I still won't necessarily call this a 10 out of 10 game. It's still not perfect, and I think that, well, I mean, it's definitely really good. Like, it's definitely like a 9 out of 10 really, as far as like my Royal Archive scale goes. But like, it's still not perfect. But there's no, I really don't think that I have like a perfect game out there. I have games that I like a lot, you know, like this is definitely added into that kind of tier for it. But I don't necessarily say that I have like games that are just like flat out perfect from the very beginning to the very end. I don't have one of those. Every game has its flaws, so unfortunately, I don't know if we'll ever see a 10 out of 10 in the Royal Archives, but there's still plenty more games out there, so of course, I will continue to play them. I'll continue to give you my feedback on them, and then we can sit here in the comments and talk about which ones we like and which ones we don't like. So, have you played the Space Marine series? Are you a fan? Did I make you a fan with today's review? Let's talk about it in the comments below. And until the next time, this has been the Royal Archives. I'm King BeeRye. And until the next time, peace, love, and hair grease. I'm out of here.